How to study abroad in 4 steps. In this video I will take you from the dream of studying abroad to the reality of actually doing it. I've studied abroad in 5 different countries. I did a high school year in the US, a university semester in London, and I've taken shorter language courses in Germany, Spain and Japan. For over 20 years I've helped students realize their dreams of studying abroad. At my current company, DreamStudiesAbroad.com, we give you free study abroad information regardless of where in the world you want to study. So let's go! How to study abroad. Step number 1. What do you want? Whatever you do in life, you won't get good results unless you know what you want. The same is true for studying abroad. To choose the right school and get a good study abroad experience, you must know what you want. Ask yourself these questions. How long do you want to study abroad? A couple of weeks? A semester or 2? Or do you want to take a full degree for several years? What do you want to study abroad? Do you want to learn a new language? Are you looking for a specific program? Maybe you want to become a shoe designer or study medicine? Or maybe you don't know. There's an endless amount of subjects that you can study abroad. If you want to study in English, you will of course find the biggest selection of courses in the English-speaking world, but all countries give some programs in English. So if you, for example, want to study business or liberal arts, you can study in English almost everywhere. Where do you want to study abroad? Is your study abroad dream fueled by the desire to surf in California, stroll down the streets of Paris, or explore life and culture in Japan or Korea? You can study abroad all over the world. With the exception of North Korea, almost all countries take international students, so it's your choice. What kind of school are you looking for? Do you want a high-ranking school with good name recognition that will stand out on your CV? Or are you looking for a school where it's easy to get accepted and you don't need to study so hard? Or maybe a school with low tuition fees or big scholarships? And last but not least, what is most important for you? You will most likely not find a school in your dream location with a perfect program that is also high-ranking, cheap and easy to get into. So you must decide which of these things are most important for you. Let's have a look at some quick examples. Emma has a dream of experiencing life in Korea. The fashion, the food, the lifestyle and the culture. However, she's not sure if she will like it, so she wants to start with a shorter summer course. Then I would suggest that she takes a Korean language course at a private language school. This gives her the chance to try studying in Korea and get a deeper understanding of their culture. Language courses are very flexible. She can start almost every Monday and decide for how many weeks she wants to study, so it's not as overwhelming as signing up for a long-term program. Eric dreams of becoming a doctor. Unfortunately, he has bad grades, so he cannot get into medical school in his home country. So he wants to take a degree abroad instead. What Eric needs is to find an accredited medical school that teaches in English and accepts students based on an admission test instead of grades. The location and everything else is of secondary importance, but Eric should consider where he wants to work in the future. If he, for example, wants to work within the European Union, then it's easier to get licensed if he studies at an EU university. Olivia just graduated from secondary school in Europe. She wants to experience college life in California for a year, but she doesn't know what she wants to study. I would suggest that she takes study abroad semesters, where she can try 4 different courses per semester to find out what she likes, and at the same time she experiences the California lifestyle. Depending on her budget and her grades, she can choose to do so either at a community college where it's easy to get accepted and tuition fees are low, or at a UC university with higher status. What do you want? How to study abroad. Step number 2. Finding the right school abroad. Once you know what you want, it's time to start planning for your studies abroad and find a suitable school. The first thing you should ask yourself is how you want to organize your studies abroad. There are 3 main options. You can take exchange semesters through your home university. You can enlist the help of an education agency or a study abroad consultant. Or you can find and apply to a school on your own without involving a third party. There are pros and cons to each solution. Let's have a closer look. Get help from your home university. You don't have to be enrolled in a university at home to study abroad. But if you are, they should be able to help you to take a semester or two abroad. Almost all universities have exchange agreements with other universities around the world. The advantage of doing a university exchange is that your current university will help you, and the application process is usually quite easy. You often don't need to pay more than you would do when you study at home, and you're guaranteed that the classes and credits you take abroad will count towards your degree at home. The drawback is that the number of places and destinations you can choose is limited. Instead of London or Tokyo, you might end up in Birmingham or Kuala Lumpur instead. This might still be a great experience, but it's not the right choice if you're destination driven or if you want to take a full degree abroad. Another option is to use a study abroad agency. Study abroad agencies can help you with the entire study abroad process, choosing and applying to a school abroad and doing the necessary preparations before your course starts. This can be a great comfort if it feels overwhelming and you don't have to worry about forgetting some important steps along the way. Many study abroad agencies can help you free of charge to schools that they have agreements with, so they can be a great choice if they work with a school that you're interested in. However, beware if an agency tries to push you into making rushed decisions or choosing a school that you're not interested in. If an agency doesn't have an agreement with the school you're interested in, they usually can't help you, or you will need to pay a consultancy fee for their help. This is often the case if you want to apply to high-ranking universities and other schools that don't work with agencies. The agency can increase your chances of getting accepted, so if the price is not too high, it might be worth it. But if you don't want to pay for help, or if you can't find any consultancy that works with the schools that you're interested in, then you have to organize your studies abroad on your own. This can be a challenging but rewarding process. Your starting point is your answer to question number 1, what do you want? Use this to search for schools online and create a short list of suitable schools that match your criteria by asking the following questions. Do they offer the programs you're interested in? Do you fulfill their admission requirements? Can you afford their tuition fees? What are their expected cost of living? Do they have scholarships? Make a budget to make sure that you can afford to study there. How is the location and campus life? What are the ranking and reviews of the schools? At DreamStudiesAbroad.com we give you free study abroad information that can help you regardless of whether you want to study abroad on a university exchange, if you want to use a study abroad agency, or if you want to arrange everything on your own. You can search among thousands of schools in our international school database. Read articles on how to choose a school and how to plan your studies abroad. If you want more help, you can fill out our info request form. Then we can put you in touch with suitable schools or education agencies abroad. How to study abroad. Step 3. How to apply to a school abroad. The application process varies between different schools abroad. Smaller and lower ranking schools often have an easy application process, while big high-ranking universities usually require a lot of documents. Often you can apply directly on the school's websites, but many countries also have a centralized application system for university degrees, for example UCAS in the UK and CAO in Ireland. You can find detailed instructions on how to apply and what the admission requirements are on the school's websites. The first step is to fill out an application form with personal details and details about the program you're applying to. For language schools, this is usually all you need to do. Unless you take a long-term course in Asia, then you will also need to submit a bunch of other supporting documents to get your visa support letter. If you apply for a higher education program, you will also need to submit your grades from high school and from previous university studies. Everything needs to be translated to English, and sometimes documents need to be legalized as well. You will need to show a financial statement proving that you have enough money to pay for your tuition fees and living costs. Otherwise, the school cannot accept you and issue the documents needed to support a student visa. If you need scholarships to prove that you have enough money, you must secure them before applying, unless the school you're applying for offers their own scholarship and financial aid program that you can apply for at the same time. Other common requirements are a copy of the photo page in your passport, Proof that you meet the school's language requirements, for example a TOEFL or IELTS test if you want to study in English. Standardized tests, for example SAT or ACT if you apply for undergraduate studies in the US. Motivation letters, reference letters and a CV if you're applying to high-ranking universities where not even top grades are guaranteed to get accepted. At DreamStudiesAbroad.com you can read articles about how to apply to universities abroad and how to get accepted to the best universities in the world. Fill out our info request form to get help. How to study abroad. Step 4. How to prepare for your studies abroad. Congratulations! You've been accepted to school abroad. Now you're done, right? Wrong! Now the preparations start. Once you're accepted to a school abroad, it's time to apply for a student visa. This is needed for almost all long-term courses except for EU students studying within the European Union. Your school will provide you with the supporting documents that you need to get started with your visa application. At DreamStudiesAbroad.com you can find the step-by-step guides on how to apply for student visas to countries like the USA, the United Kingdom, Australia, Japan, Korea and the European Union. We would recommend that you don't book your flight until you have received your student visa, so apply on time. Book student housing. Check if your school offers on-campus housing or if they can help you with off-campus accommodation. Living on campus is usually both fun and convenient, but living off campus can be cheaper. Students usually live in dorm rooms, shared apartments or in host families. The latter is a great choice to quickly learn the language and experience the local food and culture. We can help you with student housing around the world. Apply for scholarships. Your school is the biggest potential scholarship giver, since they are the ones who have anything to gain from you studying there. However, there are also external scholarships you can apply for, including ours, so make sure to check out our international scholarship guide. Health and insurance. Ensure that you have a good study abroad insurance covering healthcare and other contingencies. Your school probably wants to see proof of insurance the first day at school, and you don't want to be uninsured if something serious happens. That can be very expensive. Also check if there are any recommended or required vaccinations for the country where you'll study. If you are on prescription medicines, learn the rules for bringing them and how to get refills abroad. Get a letter from your doctor that explains why you need this medicine and what it does. Learn about the destination country's language and culture. If you go to a non-English speaking country, I would strongly recommend learning at least some basic phrases in the native language. Educate yourself about the host country's culture, costumes, social norms, to avoid misunderstandings and embarrassments. Research the climate and pack appropriate clothing. Study the safety situation and memorize the national phone number for emergencies. Last but not least, prepare mentally and set your goals. Studying abroad can be challenging if you haven't lived alone before and are used to having friends and family around at all times. It will never turn out exactly as you have imagined before you left. It may take some time to find friends and get a hang of how everything works abroad. So take it easy and don't panic the first week. Look back at step number 1, what do you want? And based on this you can set goals and plan for how to achieve them. Studying abroad is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, so don't waste it. Does it sound overwhelming? Download our free Study Abroad handbook with a checklist that helps you prepare for your studies abroad step by step. You can find the link in the video description below, along with other useful resources. Like and follow DreamStudiesAbroad.com on YouTube, TikTok or Instagram for more study abroad advice. Thanks for listening and good luck with your studies abroad.
Studying abroad, but you're not sure how and where to go. That's why we're here, Dream Studies Abroad, to help you out reaching your goal. So many schools from all around the world are welcoming you with their open doors. Live your dreams and travel the world, a new journey for the brighter future. Let's talk study abroad today. Your dream is not so far